I know, it's terrible, guys. I mean, I'm not used to being around so many dishonest people. It's just, I think I got the part just right, though. What do you think? Is it nice? I think it's nice.
What are you doing?
Healing. From a breakup. It's okay, he still loves me, he just doesn't know it yet. Hello everyone, I'm Steve. Mark's around. Say hi, Mark.
Hey everybody!
And this is Smokey Steve and Mark. Either welcome or welcome back, and happy Saturday. It's the weekend, so we know what that means. Actually, it doesn't mean that today. We're having soda because I was running errands this morning, and it's a little late in the day for coffee. Diet Pepsi if you are so interested. So I hope everybody is well. I hope everybody is safe. Look after yourselves. Look after each other in these increasingly interesting times in which we do live. So today we're going to catch up with our fair lady, Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, the Daily Chantal, Chantopolis. Chantadler has come up quite a bit. She's never embraced it as a channel name, but it's come out recently. That what's one of the people like given her behavior, not only as of late, but it's kind of the chef's kiss. So we left off last week. We were here. We were live. And the head shaving seemed to be the biggest noticeable change last week. She shaved her freaking head. Okay. She was having a come to Jesus, eat, pray, love moment where she was, cut her hair and then proceeded to shave it, buzz it all the way off. Now I buzzed mine too. So this is an idea. I buzzed mine last week before the video. So this will give you an idea of what regrowth looks like, because she had a friend razor her hair off later in the week. And depending on the length of her hair, it's like another measure of, well, did she do it herself? Because Pete's doesn't know how to shave, or he would. He does once in a while. But at any rate, so she was a little skinny on top. She was bald in one of her moments of either clarity or distraction or throw a smoke bomb. Hey, I'm bald now. I didn't lie about anything. BBJ was yet to see a vet as of that time. Let's see. She was jealous of Shannon, Dee Dee, all people who do things that she does herself, except they don't fart into their phone. But they're all jealous. And, of course, cops come to get the CPAP. All that stuff. So stupid. So stupid. And square this idea with her coming over whenever to get stuff from her house that she needs, to show up at any time she kind of feels compelled to show up unannounced, to show up and drive around the block a few times before she goes in, or to call 50 times before she knocks on the door. I don't know. Anyway, so jealous of all these people. Now, the caveat before we start, all of these stories and these figures, Natter, Chantal, Dee Dee, to a lesser extent, James, Pete's, it's been said, and it's worth saying here, all acted out, poorly scripted bullshit. The reason I say poorly scripted is because if this is anybody's life, it's awful. So if it's scripted, I would say it's poorly scripted. Now, we're going to go as though this stuff is actually sort of happening. And if it's not happening, we'll just do this like Entertainment Tonight, I guess, and we'll just go over the highlights. Unfortunately, this may be life for them. But should it not be, we'll continue to talk anyway. But keep in mind that shifty people are shifty. Liars lie. And it's just what we're gonna be having to keep in mind as we're going through. So, let's see. Natter went away for the weekend, and she had a complete meltdown. This was jumping back to a little bit before the baldness. He had gone to Montreal. He needed to get there. And he had a job interview or something like that. And he was going to be with Dee Dee. So he was going to be going to Montreal to stay there. Chantal, it's Natter's fault that she pays his bills, and she doesn't do it for the thanks. Okay, she does it for the thanks. She pays Natter's bills. Rent, utilities, phone, all of this. As leverage, or as what she hopes will be leverage, against him to have some control, to have some to be able to say, I did this for you and I did that for you and I spent $1,500 on a computer for you. Who would do that if they didn't love someone or they weren't their boyfriend? You tell me, because somebody did. Because according to him, ain't no relationship. I know behind the scenes. Well, if there's two people and one says there's a relationship and one says there isn't, it's he said, she said? That's not how that works. That's how stalking works. That's how, like, obsession works. It's different. Like, it's real different like that. So, let's see. She trash talks Natter awful. This was last week. She did pretty much the same thing. How am I going to get through it? How am I going to do this without you guys? Block, block, block. You know. She seems to think that he arranges his life around her when she's not around. So every action he makes in her absence is trying to manipulate her, even though he's not talking to her, seeing her, directing things to her. If he's out of town with Dee Dee, he's only doing things with Dee Dee that are directly meant to hurt Chantal and make her jealous. No, I think they're hanging out. I think Chantal is just jealous. I'll explain why a little bit later, but I think she's jealous of Dee Dee. I do. She'll say no, why, and then... You think? I'll explain why I think so later, but honestly, of that relationship, maybe not of Dee Dee specifically. Dee Dee could be another person, but of the relationship that that person has with Natter, where it's not conflicted, it's just easy breezy friendship. Come over, I cook with you, the cops don't come. You know, what could Natter like better about that? So he's supposed to be in Montreal, and Chantal thinks that when the camera's off, he's very nice to her, and he's using Dee Dee to make her jealous. Okay. Eats foods that I like to make me jealous. She was eating baba ganoush one time and insisted he was doing that just to hurt her and make her jealous. And then it was said into the chat, which came back, how is he going to get a restraining order? He invited me over anytime. People can take that back. I mean, anytime doesn't mean come over at 4:30 in the morning. And that's also like consent. Like if I change my mind and say, don't come back here again, that gets rid of come over anytime. That gets rid of that. Yes, he would be the one who would probably get a restraining order. He's not showing up uninvited at your home. He's not calling 55 times. He's not the one who had to have the police called a couple times to events. It's not his behavior that is escalating this mess. It's not. She'll say it's all him, of course. And he's not like this. When we're off camera, he's so nice to me and he loves me and he adores me and da-da-da-da-da. That's very touching. But this relationship is not a relationship outside of a locked door room. It doesn't exist anywhere. It's not on camera. It's not reported by any close friends. It's not purported as a relationship from the other person in the relationship. So the only person who's upset, in love, and then heartbroken is Chantal. Everybody else is kind of going about their business. They got other stuff going on. Natter's looking for a job. He's going to be moving. I wonder if Dee Dee will have a roommate for a period of time when he's there. People got other stuff going on, you know? So, let's see. Only with Dee Dee, don't make me jealous. Please. She's obsessed. She's kind of far from reality. There was streams where she's like, I didn't do anything wrong, but love him endlessly. This tortured romance novel crap is getting a little old, too. I mean, let's take off the rose-colored glasses and look at what we have here. We have a gentleman who has really no income at the moment. Maybe he did and then doesn't now that she's in the picture. But at the moment, he's job hunting, and he's job hunting out of town because I believe he's moving. Which she probably thinks is a dig at her. You're going to move away from Montreal when I'm here? I can't move because I can't. There's no reason she couldn't move. She could move if she wanted to. As far as company, like, she would say, I don't buy him things. You know, as far as going over there and trying to woo Natter away from Dee Dee or away from any woman. I get you these things. I buy you nice things. You're supposed to love me. Chantal said her father did that with her when she was a little girl. He'd show up whenever. Now, she does it differently. Chantal was very giving of her time to Natter, if he allows. her father'd show up with a nice gift after not long time seeing them, like that was supposed to make up for everything. And I suspect Chantal kept the gift but still treated him like shit. That's father-daughter relationships. I can't dig into that. But the pattern of giving a nice gift to someone after not seeing them in hopes that it'll make up for something. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying. Natter and Dee Dee, it's possible. Possible. While I know Chantal's jealous, is that Dee Dee may not bring the same drama and bullshit with her that Chantal does. You know, he can hang out with Dee Dee and they can sit around, watch TV, you know, get Uber Eats and do that stuff. And because they have a different kind of relationship, because Dee Dee is a different type of person than Chantal is jealous of it. Like I said, not Dee Dee per se, but she's with Natter and there's no complaining, there's no screaming, there's no cops at the door, there's none of this Sturm and Drag drama. And Chantal seems to be baffled by the fact that she could have spent this much money and still not be loved. But the fact that he spends time with Dee Dee, to me, says not all of his relationships are based on getting something out of somebody else, necessarily. Possibly sex, and it could be safer. Could be safer. And by the way, I saw her live today. Drinking all that cranberry juice is good for a UTI, but not for a relapse into gonorrhea of the throat. Just so we know, safety is everybody's responsibility. So. So, anyway. So why would Dee Dee be upset with someone, you know, like Chantal? Well, she ruined Dee Dee's entire week that she came to visit with Natter and Gatineau. She called, she made noises, she showed up, she made a bunch of messes, talked all sorts of shit about Dee Dee and Natter. She talked shit about Dee Dee and then took it back, and then gave it back to him, and then it was a lot of back and forth. It's hard to tell who's lying, so you either have to assume everybody is, or you kind of have to assume just Chantal is. She lies. Addicts lie. You know, she put herself in a group of people who she thinks are pathologically, I guess, excused from lying. She loves being part of groups like that. I don't know. So, like I said, they're probably just enjoying their company and not dealing with all this Sturm and Drag bullshit that goes along when you hang out with Chantal. I would rather calmly enjoy some cheap food and a movie than have my partner scream at me all night telling me I'm not grateful enough for the shit they bought me. Sorry. Call me crazy. I'd much rather that. So, going back to the hair. Her hair is cut, shaved, gone. She's a new person. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. And I'm feeling good. So that brought a lot of people back. There was Rebeezers that they rejoin. And it was weird. They like rejoined and she found her new self. 30, 40,000 views on these videos over a couple days where she shaved her head and the cat was going to go to the vet and she was going to, I don't know what the fuck she was going to do. Donate blood, sell cookies, whatever she was going to do. She found herself again and she was going to live it. And she seemed, for a very short period of time, to be over Natter and had set a boundary that she shit all over within a week, within a few days, a few hours. But she attempted to. And other people, myself almost included, bought that because it seemed more sincere than some of her other insincere ones. And so, yes, I was almost duped. I've been duped by her. It was a bunch of times up until the one time I joined and I was a VIB. This was months ago. I forget how many. It was one of the first breakdowns because I was pulled in quick. I joined being a VIB and then I paid $5 for a super chat and said in the super chat, I believe, I only subscribe to tell you this, you know, hang in there, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, oh, thank you guys. And I meant every word of it. I didn't understand at the time how that she solicits sympathy and support under false pretenses sometimes. You know, she'll exaggerate an experience to where she's the victim, so she'll receive support. And she likes that. She likes getting it. But she's kind of finding out now with the VIBs, you can't just talk to people any sort of way, especially if they're paying you, and expect them to stay around. Her sub count, I don't know about the VIB count, but the sub count was low. She was up to 91.4 thousand before this week began, when she had her bald come to Jesus moment. And then Natter came back up again, and she got back with him briefly. And then they broke up again. I don't know. 89.1. She lost over 2,000 subscribers in a period of a couple days. Enough that somebody had the live stream up of her subscribers going down. I think she lost 900 in like one day. Could you blame them? These are people who fell into her channel thinking, hey, I found someone who's doing something new with their life. They're starting over. It's a new year. I'm starting over. Maybe I'll follow her. I'm a big person. I have some loose ends in my life to tie up. This person could be a good person to follow. And the next day you see them and they're talking, you know what I mean? Like all the crap that came after. If you watched any of her videos aside from that and saw her weekly apologizing to this man who looked like he was scaring the shit out of her while she was doing it on the live, any of the other stuff that you've seen about her, you'd think, is this the same person? And if you let it go a few days, lo and behold, she reveals herself yet again. Little venomous, little bitter. She's certainly not jealous, because jealous people don't act this way at all. Sorry. So, she did her hair, the whole thing, and, like again, Baldy for Baldy, Baldy Nation, I'm right there with you, but I think it was just a big change to be a big distraction for nothing. She'd been talking about it for a while. Now, the I hate you, don't leave me thing, she plays that with him a lot. I hate you, don't talk to me. So he finds somebody else. How could you, don't leave me? Chantal, very much her understanding, which she thinks should be everybody's understanding, I think, is that even though they're broke up, she insists they're not. He says 1 week. She says 9 months. And that he treats her like a queen off camera or whatever. I don't believe it. I just don't. I think she's face-saving in a situation that she might not want to be in anymore, but she's stuck. I don't know why she's stuck. I suspect the first weekend with all the substances and toys and, not broomsticks. I heard that was a lie. But cameras being thrown around, she might be in a compromised position where she feels compelled to do things she might not want to do because there could be consequences, tantamount to blackmail, like where he has some stuff on her and she might not want to come out and say anything because remember the foot picture where she's kissing his foot? That could be like the tip of the iceberg for the kind of things he had documented, and she may have been very well out of it that first weekend where she was doing meth and sick in the bathroom because she says she's a party girl, but she's almost 40. She's been out of the party scene for a while. She's been hitting it hard like with food for most of the time. So, phone goes off and on. I hate you, don't leave me. So she hates him. She turns his phone off and on, she says about 8 times. I don't even know if that's a thing you can do. She said that it had fraud alert because it was off and on so many times. We'll go with that, whatever. It was off and on. She claims it was. There's a school of thought that she didn't turn that phone off at all. One, because it's all part of the game. Or because she's too much of a sap and he just stopped calling her. And eventually, he blocked her. In a couple places where she couldn't be reached. And she was surprised. How could someone who does all that to another person be surprised that they might be upset enough not want to talk to them? Like, if you showed up at my house in the middle of the night demanding your property, and then I tell you to go away, please, and then you come back, and then you leave, and then gaslight one of your subs into calling the cops, which is lousy to take advantage of people who idolize. When you're a public figure. We're not. I mean, you can find us on YouTube, but, Chantal thinks she's right next to, like, I don't know. She's not as popular as, not even Debbie Gibson, like half as popular. She thinks that means that she has more things to keep private, more liberty to say things. She's a more high-profile person, maybe. And that he kind of owes it to her to give her some more respect than she needs to give to him. You always hear, I treat him like a king. I do this, I do that, I do that. It's all behind the scenes, though. If you're lying about what he does behind the scenes, how do I know you're not lying about what goes on behind the scenes? How do I know that you don't have to pound on his door for an hour before he concedes to let you in before the neighbors call the police? There's a lot of stuff that goes on off camera that maybe people don't know. So, as she's going on, talking about, Natter and why she doesn't know why he's mad or anything, she did say she was going grocery shopping. This is her new bald new day. And she said, I can't believe it. I almost bought as much groceries for 2 households. Oh my God. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I thought so. Definitely not giving Natter a ride to Montreal, because then again, he has to go to Montreal for a job interview. And Dee Dee, bless her heart, asked Chantal in the chat, allegedly. No, she was in the chat, if it was her, if she could drive Natter back from Montreal to his home. And Chantal, of course, said, no, 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 I would never. I'm not doing that. It's over. It's whatever. Then they had some words, apparently. And they're going to talk about having a relationship which would be non-monogamous, non-committed, free sexually. It's the kind of relationship they're already having, but she just found out, I think. He's been having a non-monogamous relationship the whole time. You know, gonorrhea doesn't come in eggplant. You know, it's you have to contract gonorrhea. And depending on where you get it, tells you, you know, maybe where it was infected from. So be cautious. I mean, after the first bit of gonorrhea, I'd be gone. If he ever left me for another woman, that'd be it. Let's see, he gave me another woman's sexually transmitted disease. So, or another person's. You know, let's not judge. So, definitely not giving him a ride. She's definitely not. She has set her boundaries. So in the next video, after she talks about giving him a ride back from Montreal. So, Dee Dee had asked in the chat, like I said, Chantal stops the trash talking just briefly and then starts laying into Dee Dee. Okay. Again, Dee Dee is a friend of Natter's. The number they've known each other for 10 years has come out. Other people said that they found some research that they didn't know each other that long. Friends. Maybe friends with benefits. But that's between those two. It's none of my business. And Chantal, it's none of yours. Even if you guys were boyfriend, girlfriend at one point, get out and don't come back, slam the door in your face, turning off the phone and blocking you. These aren't subtle hints of leave me alone. Like, these aren't subtle. Why would he do all that just for show? Why would he block your phone for show to us? I mean, you're the one who told us. We wouldn't have known. So, at any rate, the ride home from Montreal. So she asks, Chantal shit talks for a second, and then, I don't think they slept together, guys. Now, whenever she's wanting to get back with Natter, she'll start to reconvince herself of all the stuff that he said to try to make it sense. Well, I don't think they slept together. There was like a blanket on the couch. So I don't think that's what was going on. He convinced me that we were just friends, and he's just friends with her, too. But she was going to see other friends this night, allegedly, that she was not going to pick up Natter. She was going to see some friends who we've never heard of and had never seen before, and they were on camera. It was just a couple of people. I don't know if they were fans or friends of family or what, but they seemed like a very nice couple. And then she disappeared. And then she's coming home. And as she's coming home, she's like, I was not at Natter's. There was a few deleted videos. I was not there. I was not there. So the next day, she's in her car trying to explain why she was there. She lied. But she doesn't lie often, of course. So, you know, it's just a one-time thing. And because she owned up to it, it doesn't count as a lie. This sidebar, that's not how truth and lie works. If we get caught in a lie, okay, you tell a lie, you run the risk. If you get caught in a lie, that's not the same as telling the truth. That means you got caught, because if it was never addressed, the lie would have stood as truth and kept going. So lying when you're caught is not noble. Or like telling the truth when you're caught is not like a noble sort of thing. It's, what else are you going to do? You're going to get worse of an idiot if you lie even more. So you just kind of come clean to it. She said she was upset because he's insisting she wasn't there. She's insisting she was there. She said, I have my media kit, like lights and stuff, and I have this there, and I know how many pomegranates are in the sink, and there's a chicken, and so I was there. I know everything that's going on. Well, I'm not in Natter's apartment. I don't know. He said she came over very early in the morning at some point to do this giant apology about what a nice guy he was. And and that doesn't I don't know. Her going to his apartment and sitting in front of, this was on his channel, so I don't really watch his channel. It wasn't on hers, I don't think. Oh no, it was on hers. hits the go live button. So we're in Natter's apartment. It's Natter, Chantal, and us. And in the video, it cuts in the middle because Natter had hit go live really quickly in the apartment that he's in. And all of a sudden, he has his laptop and he's carrying it around this way, carrying it around that way. Drops it, and Chantal is right there with her new wig and everything.
Dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun! And everybody gasps with no shock. She then looks at the camera and is looking up at him because he's clearly standing over her looking down. And he wants her to explain to everybody why she was wrong, what she did, how she was mean, how she was unkind. And then she keeps looking up at him like, do I have to say anything else? She's like, I didn't think this was going to be public, blah, 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 blah. So they've met their match in one another. I still think they each have a humiliation kink, which is just a riot. But they've met there. She thinks she's going to humiliate him online. Check. He just kind of did that to her. It seemed a lot more cruel when he did it to her, though, didn't it? I mean, not really, but you know what I mean? It kind of felt like, oh, that's not nice. You're making her feel bad. I'm trying to forget that people are people and that she treated this guy pretty poorly, too. Now, granted, I think Natter's a scumbag, but that's my opinion. You know, I'm sure his mother would feel differently, or his brother, or his family. But all I know is the side of him you see on YouTube. And I don't particularly care for him. That doesn't mean that she gets to treat him like shit, though. You know, you cut off contact with people that you don't want to be around. You don't continuously fight back and forth and then have makeup, breakup, sex, or whatever you do. Eat baba ganoush, and then try to run every single woman out of his life. That's ridiculous. It's obsessed. It's not okay. I mean, it's not okay. It's not a good thing to do. Also, when Natter comes up, staying at Natter's, sleeping over at Natter's, if there's an appointment scheduled for the following day, let's say she's staying over and I'm Natter. Hi, Natter. Hi. So she's not going to do any appointments for the next day. So BBJ, few days, appointment, gone, appointment, gone. It takes weeks to get an appointment at the vet. And then she gets one. But then as soon as she doesn't feel like going or can't make it or cancels it to go do something with him, she can immediately get one the next day. And then the next day. The next day lie is just to get the pressure off today. It's just to get people to shut up about it for now, and I'll handle it tomorrow. Handling things tomorrow is Chantal's downfall. She always, puts it off. Things in her life that are a crisis could be avoided as crises if she would just handle her shit in the moment. Just a thought. In the words of Natter, are they back together? Are they not back together? I don't think they're back together. I don't know. As much as they were ever together, maybe. I mean, so what? Now that they're back together, he's going to continue to let her buy him groceries and drive him places and get tracksuits, Walmart sneakers that you don't have to steal, stuff like that. Okay. Whatever. That's as much as they were together. I mean, who are you trying to convince you're in a relationship here? Him? Us? You? You know, it means zero to me if Chantal gets back with Natter. It's her business. I would say it's more Dee Dee's business to keep her life offline because she's in a chat room and then doesn't have a channel and isn't really on Natter's channel when he's there. Chantal is dragging her business all over YouTube and making childish faces about it because she is jealous of Dee Dee. She is at least jealous of the relationship that Natter has with a female friend. Chantal thinks it's wrong because she's cheated. So she knows what it's like to be looking at somebody else. Also, cheaters cheat. So a lot of people get insecure in relationships, I think. Some. We'll say some. I don't know if it's a lot. Get involved in relationships and they're very suspicious of what their partner is up to. What are you doing? Who are you talking to? Where are you going? Where have you been? Cheaters believe in the capacity of others to cheat. So they may accuse others of doing it if they've done it themselves. She's cheated on both of her boyfriends. Why did he, all of a sudden she's so loyal and so upright? And that was after years in a relationship of doing it. So she's, she's on no high horse here. She doesn't be like, well, my last boyfriend treated me like BB barely spoke to you towards the end, it seemed like. So, nevertheless, she'll cancel plans. And it's selfish with other people's time. I mean, this canceling for BBJ, and then to get her wig fitted, she bought a cheaper wig. She bought a nice one, and then she bought kind of a cheaper as far as wigs go, and tried to put it on herself. She had a fitting done by people who do wig fittings for people who have cancer, and had to shave their heads and get their hair refitted or a wig fitted. She said she called and said she had a total meltdown, and the meltdown was because she got out of a bad relationship. Well, isn't that a lie? You're not. You're just keeping it off YouTube. And that she shaved her head and she was freaking out, and then they got her in. And then she skipped that appointment too. So it's a lot of people's time that gets wasted when that kind of thing happens. You know, other pets could have had those appointments. You know, other people who are also bald and struggling and maybe would feel more confident have to wait another day because Chantal doesn't want to get up and do it. Just cancel the damn appointments and don't reschedule. If you don't care, don't care. But don't pretend to care. You know, I mean, you'll keep the wig one because it's for you. But, I mean, don't pretend to make appointments. If you don't want to go to therapy, don't go. But don't pacify everybody by telling them you're going. Just lay it out there. You know, you lipstick on a pig. You're not a pig. It's a euphemism. I don't think you're a pig. But to try to take this mess and then say, well, I'm going to get therapy and I'm going to get this and going to get that. And none of that's actually going to happen. So don't try to make, you know, the new VIBs believe that there's hope when at the moment there doesn't really seem to be too much. The 12-hour live stream. Now, there was going to be a 12-hour live stream. This was a big deal. This was talked about for a while, and a day was picked. Now, did I honestly think she was going to do a 12-hour live stream? No! But you got to see how it plays out. When she makes some outlandish promise, the whole thing is to tune in and see how poorly it goes. Not that I want to see her do bad, but she aims like really, really high enough that even she knows she won't be able to reach it. And then when she struggles, she quits. So the 12-hour live stream started out, they were still talking about her and Natter in the stream. So she started off in a stream and she talked for 10 minutes about this and that, and I'm going to tell you objectively what happened. No such thing. From my perspective of what happened with me and Natter, and I stayed over last night, and he says I didn't stay over last night, but I will tell you I was there, and I have receipts. So she's with him, and then she's not with him. She gets with him, and then he says she wasn't there, and then goes back to not being together again. And then we're mad at Dee Dee again for existing. Why be mad at Dee Dee? Like, why be mad at Dee Dee? He's the one doing it. Dee Dee's just living her life. And she shouldn't do that to another woman. You are not his girlfriend. If he says you're not his girlfriend, and you don't look like his girlfriend, and you don't act like his girlfriend, and he doesn't say it, that would be a deal breaker for me, probably, if he wouldn't claim me in public. Like, you embarrassed by me? If he has single on any one of his profiles, Plenty of Fish, any of that kind of stuff, no matter what he says about why it says single there, he's lying. He's lying. It seems like his offer is friends with benefits and don't be a psycho or nothing. You know, we're going to be boyfriend, girlfriend. That didn't work out. We're going to just be friends. It's not enough for Chantal. He likes the sex. She likes the friendship. So if they can keep that together, fine. But if she's going to go ape shit about every female friend he has, then she's not going to be able to stay in the friendship even. She's going to have to not be part of it, I think. It's too much. It's too much. It's not cute. Desperation is not cute. Jealousy is not cute. You know, dignity is cute. Honesty is sexy as fuck, too. Try it out. Try it out. So for this 12-hour stream, she streams 10 minutes, thought accidentally she put it on open chat, got off, came back on VIB chat, which she was on earlier anyway, and then she goes off the wall. The version in her car of what happened with that was bullshit. I don't know if I believe her. She wants to give her, again, objective assessment. She admits to lying, eventually. She says she wasn't at his place. He's saying she wasn't at his place. He's saying she popped in to apologize, and then she was there, offered her receipts and proof in the community post. So her community post came up, and she was trying to defend herself, saying, yes, I did spend the night with him. Proof. See, everybody, he does think we're a couple. And he's saying, well, He seems very uninvolved, uninterested in explaining it. But she has proof in the community post that said that, but then they're edited. Lying liars lie. Lying liars lie. There's a certain threshold where you can only speculate about their motives, because are they trying to play one over each other? Is this like humiliation games? Is this like, what is that movie? Cruel Intentions? Except everybody's, weird. I'm not too sure. So she has the nerve lying to everybody's face and then tell him that she thinks he's lying to her about Dee Dee, about other relationships, about other girls. There is no other girl. The name Ashley and Amelia keeps coming up. I swear I heard it first out of Chantal's mouth or somebody else's. I think I don't know. Is it a fake girl? Is it a real girl? I don't know. It was another name to just throw in the hat. So, I don't know. Yeah, but when she's gonna lie, don't lie and then throw it back at other people. Big, I never lie. Get the fuck off of your throne. Like, you don't lie. Yeah, everybody lies, so I can lie all day long. Yeah, people lie. But you know what? People who lie a lot don't keep friends much. Because you're not trustworthy. And I can't trust if I tell you something, you'll keep it in confidence. So, what the fuck would we want to be friends for? I don't know. Now, YouTube Chantal is probably different than day-to-day life Chantal. Why, at least I would hope so. Except when she suddenly goes live in places that are very conspicuous, like the outhouse. So, at any rate. So, yeah, she's very jealous, I think, of the relationship Dee Dee has with Natter. Maybe not Dee Dee specifically, but, hey, Dee Dee does something for him that Chantal doesn't. Doesn't matter how many laptops, groceries, crying, shaking in the bed. You owe me. I own you. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You could spend over 10 grand on the guy, 40 grand, 50 grand on the guy over a period of months. Pay all his rent. You're not going to tell him who to be friends with. Apparently. And he doesn't care if you're jealous too much. He'll care next month when he needs some money. And she'll go on her, you need me. You can't live without me. He lived this long. The man's a fucking refugee, isn't he? I think he can live a little while. Without, I think he's gone through bigger hardships, probably, and challenges in life than breaking up with Chantal. So I think he'll probably be okay. So, a few things. And I think I'm going to bring in Mark for this because I need a little assistance. It's about addiction.
Nope.
Mark,
Yeah.
could you come in here, please?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, hey there.
I'm here.
So,
Hey, everybody.
So following some thoughts, we just went over her
Yes, I heard.
pile
yes.
of dog vomit of a week.
Yeah.
But also what came up was something that struck my ear, and of course we brought you in before. She said she is addicted to a person.
Yes.
She is addicted to Natter.
Yeah.
Also what came up was that she looked incredibly out of it while behind the wheel of a car.
Oh, yeah.
So those are those two kind of things going on. So in the midst of all this nonsense, what's addiction looking like?
With her? Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, yes, when she said, "Oh, guys, I'm addicted to him," it doesn't surprise me at all. I did get a couple questions through email. Is that possible? In the world of addiction, yes, it's possible. You can become addicted to anything. A drug, a place, a food, a person, and she has a very addictive personality. She has self-described herself as an addict.
Yeah.
Now, in both of those situations, her describing herself or identifying as being an addict, and the fact that she threw out, "I'm addicted to him," what she's doing here is she's using that as an excuse, an explanation to avert all responsibility for anything, because she can blame it on the fact that, "I'm sorry, I'm an addict." Addicts, they lie. Addicts, they manipulate and they do strange things. That is what she's using this for.
Speak for yourself.
And and we've seen it happen over and over and over and over and over again, and I mean, she's saying she's addicted to this man that wants to have nothing to do with her. Now, that's, of course, if this isn't all or somewhat scripted too. Again, at this point, nothing surprises me. I have to eat my words from last week. I was rooting. I was like, okay, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Now, of course, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't know about this. But I didn't think that it would be that soon that she would.
It was very quick.
Gosh.
I mean, in the time to do a load of laundry.
The next day. Like, I don't know. So I do eat my words from last week, But, and, this guy wants to have seemingly nothing to do with her, right? Until either he wants something from her, maybe. I don't know. Again, we only know what they tell us, right? And he doesn't say too much, except wasn't that classic? Him making her apologize.
Yeah.
Her sitting there in her horse shawl thing, whatever that thing was, sitting there and, I lied. I said Come on. Really?
I don't know who I hated more in that moment.
And her or him. I don't know. If he made you do that, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
If, you set this all up, you're a piece. You know what? They're both just pieces of shit at this point. I'm sorry.
It's degrees at the moment.
It's just degrees. You're right. It's levels. It's degrees. But anyway, yes. The drug use, in my opinion, has not stopped. In my honest professional opinion, Chantal is unwell. She's unstable, and she needs professional help and support to get through this. And yes, that includes this supposed addiction to natter. Okay. To nads. She needs, and she won't do it. I mean, how many times? Oh, I have a therapy appointment tomorrow. Come on.
Tomorrow.
All the behaviors are the same. All the personality traits are the same, and it just gets more intense under this, using drugs and everything. This extreme selfishness. Oh my God. And the righteousness and this supposed naive Chantal. Come on. It's all made worse with the drug use, okay? As are the behaviors. How many times, like, okay, I mean, shame on you. Look at this cat, okay? This cat needs his doctor's appointment, okay? And she puts up a post after canceling so many times, oh, I know, I'll do it when I want to do it, and I'm not going to tell you about it.
I'm not going to be emotionally blackmailed into going to the vet.
Exactly. So here we have being selfish, being righteous, and lacking on her responsibilities, okay? My cat is like my family to me. I think it's like that for a lot of people.
Well, he's around.
They have, it's part of being a responsible person. It's part of being a responsible pet owner. You think that I'm not a responsible pet owner? Then F you, block, block, block. No, you are not a responsible pet owner. That cat has needed to go to the vet for how long now, and you've canceled so many times. Like, I'm sorry. That's, again, part of the behaviors. She sat for 3 days in the same outfit, surrounded by the same trash and rotting food. These are all behaviors that, hopefully one would not see in a person who is not, taking drugs.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying, I don't know, but I don't want to take up too much time, but yes, the answer, yes, you can be addicted to a person. Yes, the same treatment holds true, if you're quitting cocaine or quitting heroin or, as kind of breaking that addiction for another person. You need professional help to do it if you are indeed clinically addicted. I don't know if she's saying this to get views or exaggerate anything. I don't even know. You can't believe not one word that comes out of her mouth anymore. And I was rooting for her. I
still am. If I see a sign of progress,
I will too. And
but
just
I'm not co-signing it.
We've been watching for so long. We've been kind of reviewing for a while. I still have hope and all that. But this last week was just a complete mess.
Mhm.
You know, I'm sorry. I don't know. I really don't know. But I jotted a couple things. I think I got everything that I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, on a side note, talking about men or, well, supposed men, I guess we'll say, Pete, come on. Please learn the difference between sexual orientation and gender identity. They are not the same thing, okay? What is it? Like, what is it? People going public and live with all, and, you know, being seen and not having their facts straight.
Well, I mean,
This is 2020.
too.
Come on. I don't know.
That's Pete's for you, though.
And Natter, if you want to do a cooking channel, learn how to cook. There, I said it. I'm sorry. I've been a chef for my whole life, 30 years, okay, and I can't help but notice things. I mean, you know, she's addicted to his cooking, and then later she was like, oh, I hate all his food. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Did you see that tuna he cooked?
It was dead.
And then, you know, I mean, for a supposed professional chef to devein shrimp, hold it in his hands, dripping the raw shrimp juice all over your wooden cutting board with raw vegetables on it, and then touching every surface without washing himself, without washing the cutting boards.
Speaking of family.
Without, yeah, look, see, we were just talking about him. He's playing Godzilla right now. Do you like our backdrop?
Oh, we were in merry old England yesterday.
We were. Yesterday
Primarily
was fun. Oh, if you haven't seen it, go back to yesterday's video. We went to England and we did a little, like, you know, tasting of their foods and went on a little trip to England. It was a lot of fun, you know. Hello. But then proceeded to make sauce, pour that sauce into the bowl that he peeled his shrimp. Okay, I'm done.
You're done?
About that.
You got off on his culinary
It just makes
skills.
me angry, you know, only because, again, the way that they portray themselves, you know, he's this fabulous professional chef. That's not even line cook quality there. I mean, no chef would do those things, you know. But I don't know how we got on him. Well, how could you not? But I don't know. But anyway, sorry for taking up so much time.
Oh, you're good. We needed your voice.
All right.
Thank you,
Bye,
Mark.
everybody.
Bye. All right, so where do we go from here?
I don't know.
Fuck if I know. There goes the kitty. So, I don't know. The turnaround was so quick on this last. I'm not in Montreal. I was in Montreal and he says we weren't, but I have proof that we were. She went from not being there and saying there was no proof to providing the proof that she was there. So,
what the hell is that all about?
I don't know. Once you get a lie, you gotta stick with it. So, we'll see where it goes from here. I gotta say, the only person still in a relationship is Chantal, and she's in it with nobody. So, I do hope she finds happiness someday when she gets her shit together. Chantal, I will keep a candle lit for you up here that someday that happens. Maybe when you're well someday, we'll take a drive to Ottawa. But until then, get your shit together, and I'll keep an eye on you from here. So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the notification bell to get alerts when we have new videos and when we go live. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, our email and contact info, all that stuff's listed below as well. Thank you again, and we will be going live tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's open chat, usually pretty chill. Foodie Beauty comes up, and some other topics do, so don't hesitate to stop by if you're free. Thanks for watching. Bye. Say bye, Mark.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.